I have watched a lot of anime in my day, and whenever I'm watching an anime, this thought pops into my mind. This action scene is really dope. What will happen next? Ah, great. It's narration time. A lot of people say that the addition of narration in anime, it ruins it. Be it narration from the characters where the action stops so we can get a glimpse of what's going on in their head, or being narration from a narrator, a disconnected, unidentified third person who is telling the story. Simply just a voice telling you the story.
And now he is about to say the next sentence.
And there is no better example of this than the narrator in Hunter x Hunter. He becomes really apparent during the Chimera Ant arc. For example, in episode 112, during the palace invasion. It's the start of the invasion. Time slows down to the millisecond. And in this episode, it's 20 minutes long, 8.5 minutes of which are narration. Believe me, I ran the numbers. And that made me think real hard about the existence of that narrator. Not only in Hunter x Hunter, but in anime in general. Why is it here? Does it add anything to the story, or does it just take you out of the story? And instead of just thinking about this, I decided to take action. Using the revolutionary technology of video editing and grabbing something and dropping it and dragging this and hitting mute and cutting, I was able to completely remove the narrator from this episode. Let me tell you, wow, were the results shocking.
どこから湧いた？ありえない場面はユピーにはすぐに考え
Yes, I do joke about how I removed the narrator and stuff like that, but it was actually pretty hard, okay? It took a lot of time for me to do. I had to get the episode, muted it whole, then I re-sound designed the whole episode, and I took out the part where the characters speak, because character speaking in their mind, having an inner monologue is fine. The narrator talking, no, that's what I took out, the narrator talk. I took the sound of the original episode, put it in an AI program that just takes out the talking parts, so I would get an idea of how the sound effects and the soundtrack would work without the narration. And I also removed the subtitles, so if you watch it regularly, you wouldn't know that there is narration at this moment. So after all of this, an original scene would look like this. When I first rewatched the episode without the narration, I had some feelings, okay? And to be honest, it changed the whole story for me. And I am the one who made it. I know what I did, but still, when I watched it whole, it was different. So I wanted to test it out even further with someone else before gathering all of my thoughts. So I contacted my boys Dylan and Cage from the Hunter Association YouTube channel. Great podcast, by the way. You should check it out. The Hunter Association, amazing guys. And I told them to hop on a call without telling them anything else. Extremely normal. Nothing weird going on here. Nothing fishy going on here. All right, gotcha. So I just wanted you to watch an episode. It's one of my favorite episodes, to be honest. It's 112. I just wanted you to watch the first half of it. I'm guessing you won't have any problem with that, right? You watching Hunters?
Nope, no problem. Ah. I see. Oh man. Oh wow. It's not something you really realize when you watch the original episode, how there's no movement happening at all.
Now, while Cage noticed immediately that the narrator was absent, Dylan, on the other hand, was just watching the episode and enjoying. He did not notice that there was no narration.
This was really the beginning of when I knew this arc was just incredibly special, I think. Thinking back to my first watch through of the series. I'm getting a lot of like just flashbacks of feelings at the moment.
We will expand more on that in just a little bit, so keep watching. It gets a bit weird. And hey, I see you. You want to watch the episode without the narration. You want to get in on this, huh? I got you. So, right down the video, you will see a like button and a subscribe button. Please click on those, and in the description, you will find a link to some YouTube channel. I don't know who made this YouTube channel, but it's like, I don't know, it's not me because... No, it's not me. It's a burner YouTube channel, it's an abandoned YouTube channel, and there is a video uploaded there. I did not upload this video, obviously, because it's copyrighted material. But it's not actually a copyrighted material. I would make the argument that this falls under fair use because I significantly edited this thing and recreated and made it my own, so I am not infringing, nor am I claiming that I own any part of this. But I just happened to find a channel on YouTube that uploaded 7 minutes of episode 1112 without the narration that I made for research purposes only. So I don't know, you can check it out. And if you want more videos of this kind where we do some experiments inside of the Hunter x Hunter world, please make sure you subscribe to the Hunter Society. It really makes a difference. And please join us in that experiment. I want to know what are your thoughts when you see Hunter x Hunter without the narration, and send it to your other friends without saying a lot of things about it. Just see their reaction.
The part that was killing me is just like them at the bottom of the steps, and they're just kind of like sliding across the screen a little bit, and without narration, there's nothing happening at all. Not even animation. It's just like PNGs sliding.
But now let's get back to business and ask the question, why is it there in the first place? When you're reading a manga, the characters are obviously two-dimensional and they lack depth. So in order to fix that, we the readers, we need to know more about these characters. So in order to fix that, we get narration. When an author wants to leave nothing to interpretation, they add the narration. And when that manga is adapted into an anime, the narration part comes along. It's a byproduct of the manga adaptation process, same as the very long inner monologue that the characters have. We need to know by reading it what the character is thinking, so we get a lot of inner monologue. If there is an exchange between two characters while they are having a fight, obviously it does not make sense for them to stop fighting in order to talk. In the manga, I guess it makes sense because it's just 1 page long. They talked for a bit, then they continue fighting. But when you adapt that 1 page, it becomes like 1 minute or 2 minutes long. So it does not make sense for someone to be fighting and they just stop fighting for 1 minute to talk it out, and then they continue fighting. Tell me about this experience. What do you think?
Yeah, so that was fascinating. It's really something like, I'm a defender of that episode. To be honest, I've put my life on the line for that episode many times in the past. But it is hard to admit without the narration there. It's definitely very apparent that there is really not much happening on screen.
Like, I defend the narration, I don't see any problem
Yeah.
with it. However, I cannot deny, like, it does fall flat. Like, the episode's like just of people staring at each other. And here is where it gets a bit tricky. With the use of music, animation, colors, sound effects, framing, those are tools you have to convey what you are trying to say. In other words, you have the perfect environment to show, don't tell. Boom, Dragon Dive is piercing through the palace. Oh look, all of our main characters are in shock. Then we got the two characters that their facial expressions are not changed, looking at each other, Gon and Yuppie. That's great, I got it from the visual only, say less. A great example of show don't tell, that Gon and Yuppie were present at this moment while the others were discombobulated. Except in the episode, in 112, they did not show don't tell, they showed and told.
その中でただ2名ゴンとユピーが敵だけを見ていた。
Dio mio, Interessante. I mean, I could have interpreted that myself pretty easily, actually, and yeah, to me, that was an addition of the narration that wasn't needed at all. And taking it out might actually improve the story. I can say that without the narration, I don't know, I felt connected more to what is happening. I was also discombobulated from the dragon dive, but all of a sudden I saw that, Gon and Yuppie weren't. They were locked in. So what exactly is happening? And believe me, I am saying that as a person who identifies as a defender of the narration. I have no problem with the narration. All my life, I've been defending it. I don't understand why a lot of people have hate towards the narration.
So I very pro narration. I think it adds a lot to the atmosphere of a story, especially when, in anime form, whenever you're hearing the narration. It's something about it. It just makes it feel like a tale that's being told.
Yes, I can say very comfortably that there are some parts where the narration is pretty straightforward and it does not add a lot. Okay, this is unforgivable. I cannot make an argument for that. Those parts should be taken out. But most of the time, especially in the Hunter x Hunter story, the narration is extremely important.
I definitely think it makes it easier to digest overall, just like what's happening there. And that's where I can sympathize with the narration is kind of overwhelming crowd. To some extent, I can sympathize with that because it can be overwhelming, especially in that episode, right? Because that's a lot of narration happening and not a lot actually happening on screen. Take note that this is supposed to be weekly airing within Japan at that point in time, right? So narration for recapping events especially is very important for people that just kind of watch week to week or maybe have skipped an episode or two in the arc. And two, because it's Chimera Ant, right? There's so much happening and so much at stake. It's really important to kind of highlight how big of a deal all of this is and why everything leading up to this point and what's happening right now is crucial, right? And there's a lot. So obviously narration is kind of needed to that extent to kind of make that scope. It's kind of a necessary evil in my mind, I think, in a lot of ways. But I think what you did here showcases that even without the narration, these moments in these episodes can still be enjoyable, especially in hindsight, and especially if you already kind of know what's happening, if it's a rewatch especially, right? It didn't really cross my mind until you posed the question, in the first place, what was different about this? So, I'm impressed that I didn't notice it either. And I think that's a testament to how good of a job you did with the editing on that as well. I think that's really important to highlight.
And the second aspect of my argument for the narration is that it is part of the way that this story is told. To compress time that much that an entire episode is only 1 minute in the time of the enemy world, that's a bold move. And it's definitely a unique way to tell that story. And with time being extremely slowed down like that, it gives us a lot of time to know more about these characters. And that's Hunter x Hunter's strong suit, the characters. And for that to happen, a narrator is needed. And when you get a goated actor like Issei Futu, come on, you cannot complain, man.
Kaiju.
Jinju.
ハンターと呼ぶ
But then again, when you watch episode 113, then 114, then 115, the narrator is even more prevalent.
持たせたとも知らずにイカルゴはバームの姿を求め宮殿の地下に切り裂かれた己の武器を呼ばれなくとも分かっていたさせた目が捉えた感
I checked online and saw hundreds of posts saying that they are losing interest and they did not finish Hunter x Hunter just because of the narrator. Another post that says that they love Hunter x Hunter, however, the only flaw that they see is the narration. They say that Hunter x Hunter 99 is goated because it didn't have narration. So the question I have right now, do those people find that the Hunter x Hunter narration is a problem, or do they have problem with narration in general in all of anime? I rewatched my edit again, studied the opinions on the internet, and studied the reaction that the two massive Hunter x Hunter fan gave me. And after searching and hearing opinions here and there, I came to this conclusion. Number 1. Narration is a part of anime, like flurry punches, like a hyped OP song, but the ending is a very sad song. It's just a thing. Well, actually, it's a thing in storytelling in general. However, it is a bit more noticeable in anime, but it's there. You cannot avoid it, you cannot run away from it, it's there. Number 2, most of the complaints about the narration that I noticed is regarding the Chimera Ant arc, and they all boil down to the same exact conclusion. It was unnecessary and it made me lose interest.
And yet its presentation totally sucked me out of it, delivered in a way that I just couldn't resonate with, and may have left me a little disappointed.
But here is the thing. The more I read and watch those complaints and try to understand really what they're saying, I realize something. The problem wasn't a narration problem. It was a narrative problem. It was an expectation problem. And I get it. I get it because I was also there. I watched Hunter x Hunter for the very first time at some time in my life, and when we reached the Chimera Ant arc, I was hyped up beyond imagination. And nothing. All of a sudden, nothing happens. And I think it takes a while to hit. It takes a while to register that, this is the type of story that is being told here. Conventional wisdom, which is conventional wisdom, man, this word is very hard. Conventional wisdom would suggest that we are hyped up most of the arc, we enter the palace, then action, straight up action, give me action right now. That's what you are expecting. That's what all of us were expecting. However, because we were expecting a lot and we were building a lot of expectation, when the story took us to a whole different place, it messes you up that you cannot let go of the expectation you've set in your mind. And I believe that's what makes this story different. No, we will not go straight into the chaos. We will enjoy every little detail of that chaos. We were expecting something, as you should put the expectation for the show that you're watching. That's completely normal, but you completely got something you did not expect. It's not bad, nor is it underwhelming. No, it is just not what you were expecting. I would argue that it's good. You might have different feelings on it, but that's completely valid and completely okay. It's just not the thing that you had in mind. And when you kept on waiting for the thing that you were building up in your mind, you started to lose interest. However, I believe full-heartedly that if you rewatched Hunter x Hunter and you had that in mind, that when the palace invasion happens, time will slow down, you would actually give these little moments another chance, and you will enjoy it. You will enjoy Shoot's inner monologue. You will enjoy Pooh versus Moral so much more. But then again, we have to keep it moving to conclusion number 3. Yes, it is not perfect. Yes, in some instances, the narration is very useless and can be replaced with show don't tell. I 100% agree. 1,000,000,000% agree. But take a second look and you will realize that it's not that common. And without the narration, we wouldn't have had such goated moments like this.
作戦開始からおよそ3分。選別まで残り6日。この日招き入れたこの少女が後に自分の運命に大きく関わることを王は知らない。クラピカは今言いようのない虚しさを抱えていた。
You get it now. There's just some stuff that when it hits just right. And number 4, finally, removing the narration from the anime will completely change everything. Not good change, not bad change, just change. Just different. However, I believe that change would only work and hit when you have prior knowledge of the story. If you are well read in the story of Hunter x Hunter and you know how this world works, I believe it might enhance your experience. The one thing that I felt when I watched it, like the first time after I finished editing it, when I watched it, there was this interaction
that I thought if I was watching this for the very first time and I had like solid knowledge of Hunter x Hunter, like I was focused throughout the whole series, that would have hit extremely strong, which is the part where they realized that Knuckle and Melirion might be dead. When you watch that without narration
Oh,
and
yeah.
it just hones in and focuses on Gon and Yuppie only staring to each other, and it clicks in your mind, I can only imagine that would have hit like harder without the narration of it. And because visually, like the animation, they did an amazing job to explain it visually.
I would be curious to see this done for like, because this episode is very notorious with its narration. I'd like to see this done for something, like let's say Netero versus Meruem, because I really think the narration enhances that fight a lot. But it would be interesting to see it without it. I wonder, like, do you get the same feeling watching that fight without the narrator telling you, like, basically the thematic resonance of the fight? I don't know. It's interesting to think about for sure.
If you are not that well versed in Hunter x Hunter, or maybe you watched it only once or twice, then I think you might be lost. If you want to test it out, you can test it by yourself. Like we said, under the video, you'll see a subscribe button. Please subscribe to the Hunter Society, and in the description, there is a link of a video on YouTube of a channel. I don't know who has this burner channel, but I think because it is significantly changed from the original work and the channel. Please guys, subscribe to the Hunter Society. It would really help out the channel if you subscribe and share this video with other Hunter x Hunter fans, and like the video as well. Thank you so much for watching, and have a good day. And just a little something, I want to say I really appreciate you for watching the video till the very end. It really means a lot to me. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And have a good day.